The pump is wired to the battery junction box, which in the trunk, and then in that junction box is the fuse for the fuel pump and the relay and the diode and stuff. And so I was able to hook the fuel pump, I mean the oil pump up to the same circuit as the fuel pump. So as soon as the key is on, then this thing comes on and starts sucking. And so to try and account for the amperage, I changed that fuse from 15 to 20 amps. But this new Spartan pump is only drawing 3 amps versus the 6 amps of the other pump that I had in here. So I'm not real worried about that. And second was getting the gauges in place. So this setup I have right now just has 2 gauges. I have a boost gauge, which is hooked up to the driver's side turbo unit, and then up at the intercooler I put a before and after temperature sensor, which goes to 1 display gauge. So those are all wired up along the bottom of the car here and kind of jump around. And I drilled a hole through the floor in the driver's side, kind of right in the dome of the transmission. So that's where the lines go up, and then once you get inside the car, there's nowhere to put the gauges. That's maybe the A column, but I ended up just setting them for now on the center console. I'm going to 3D print maybe a gauge holder that kind of sits in front of the ashtray for them. And it actually worked out well in that spot because these glow shift gauges, have basically not including the sensor wires that they have, but they have the 4 power wires ground. They want one for on battery basically all the time, so you can remember what color setting probably was set. And then they have the other one to the extent, basically when you turn the switch on and then that the lights come on. Then there's a third one that's hooked up to a dimmer. It's a dimmer when the lights come on, that the gauges get dimmer. It turns out that all those wires you need are in the center console. The traction control button has the dimmer, has the key on, and I guess accessory outlet, next to the cigarette lighter has the 12 volts all the time from the battery. So it worked out pretty well for that. Today I'll probably actually drop the exhaust back off and just plumb everything back up here and maybe clean up some of the leaks and the welds that I had found with my issue here and try and dry out the plumbing a little bit. Now I'm gonna scoot out, grab the camera and just kind of show you the gauges, and we're moving right along, I guess. Just gonna take a few more days for all the new parts to show up, and eventually I'm anxious to get the Advantage 3 software from SCT and get working. Oil everywhere. Take the key out of there so it's less irritating for now. Here's the gauges. I have them just in the center console. I'm going to end up mounting them kind of here and here. I have this thing propped open just to play with the vacuum line because I had it pinched on accident before, or you thought you had it pinched because you don't see any boost. But the key goes in, light goes on, you can hear the suction pump underneath there. It's quieter when it's actually pumping oil than versus dry like it is now. These are the glow shift gauges. They're different colors. I think they're pretty neat. And like I said before, I got the boost gauge to get about 7 before I kind of, I had a little bit of a stomach knot, so I let that go. Guess one of the neat things was when I got to about 7 psi boost, I heard a little pop underneath the car, and that's what I kind of left the gas. And right now we're kind of looking at the pressure piping that I made up to go from the turbos to the intercooler. And you see the oil's coming out of it from. But I noticed on this first coupling here, this clamp collar is kind of shifted. I think it actually, you can kind of see all the oil on the outside. This is where it basically popped open and started blowing air out as it got pressurized. So I need to go back through and tighten those clamps down and get things right. But as far as wiring and things, definitely get one of these wiring diagram books in the shop manual set. I got that off eBay for I think like $50 for the 3 of them. This is one of these I guess eBay pumps. I think it would work. It's not quiet, but they say that on the website. Alright. And there it is. Gonna sit for a few more days.